Hello, I'm Brandon, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Shadows Fall album, Fire from the Sky. Okay, I suck at impersonating people. What the hell did I just do? Business as usual now. What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. Yeah, you probably know why I did what I just did right now, but I just had to let that out, just for the lulz. But yeah, let's get down to business. I'm going to be reviewing the new album from the band Shadows Fall, entitled Fire from the Sky. This is released on resurgent Records. Now, to bring you up to speed with this band, if you're not too familiar with them, they're based out of Springfield, Massachusetts. And the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very, very rugged and intense melodic style of metalcore. I mean, if you want to go back to way earlier in their career, I want to say maybe 1997, when they came out with their debut, they had Philip Labonte on vocals, who now sings for the band All That Remains. But the real Shadows Fall got underway when they had Brian Fair as their new singer. And really, he really has led this band on somewhat of a unique kind of a journey throughout the last decade or so. Yeah, I mean, albums like Of One Blood, The Art of Balance, and The War Within are just absolutely great. Great albums for just the intensity in the music, the lyrics, the great songwriting, the melodies and the vocals. Just some really, really creative and memorable stuff. That's what I best remembered Shadows Fall for. I'm not going to lie, I lost some interest during the later 2000s with this band. Not that I wasn't into them or anything like that. I guess I just lost track of things. But we go to 2009 and they come out with Retribution. It's somewhat of a return to their roots, so to speak, creatively and musically. A lot of really solid and creative material, and catchy as hell too. Really, really catchy stuff. And I was only curious to see what the next step in this band's evolution was going to be. And now we get to 2012 and we have Fire from the Sky. It's 10 tracks and it runs about 41 minutes, 42 minutes in length, but I do know there are other variations. I know there's a Best Buy exclusive version with 2 bonus tracks and a DVD, and I know there's an iTunes exclusive with 2 bonus live tracks if you happen to legally download it. But yeah, I really love the pace of this album. This is probably one of the best paced Shadows Fall albums to come out with yet, because I like the beginning song, The Unknown, because it starts off very, very kind of heavy, the way the guitars sound, the way the melodies are, and then it goes right into somewhat of a thrashy kind of a vibe with just the way the riffs are, and just heads off right into the song and straight up pace throughout. Guitar-wise, it's your usual Shadows Fall guitar, a lot more well thought out, a lot more structured, and a lot more enticing. I just love the way the riffs are, the way the melodies are constructed. I absolutely love the solo work. That's another thing to point out about Shadows Fall. These guys know how to do guitar solos very, very well. Very, very carefully crafted, very well played. Nothing show-offish about it. It just sounds really, really nice, and I'm really loving the way that the guitars are handled this time around. Bass-wise, it's a very solid bass tone, very well heard, nicely done. It accompanies the guitar very well when it needs to, but it's a solid bass performance. I'm loving the way that it sounds here. Drum-wise, Jason's drumming just really shows you how good he can be and how diverse he can set himself out to be. You hear a lot of fast double bass, you hear a lot of solid drum rolls and drum fills, the occasional blast beat from time to time. That's where you hear a little bit of that thrash vibe going around. I know this is a metalcore band, but really, they do happen to take some influences from many different styles of metal. I want to say maybe melodic death metal or the Swedish metal, like maybe say Dark Tranquillity or In Flames to a certain extent. You can pick up those vibes from the drums. I'm really loving the way that the drums sound, just very, very diverse and all over the place, but it gets the job done, and Jason really does a good solid job with the drums here. And Vocal-wise, Brian Fair is the singer for Shadows Fall. I mean, if you've seen the way he looks, he has those dreads that are from his head all the way down to his feet. I don't know how he happens to take care of his hair like that, but damn. He really does have a great personality, and not just a great personality, but great lyric writing and great singing. I much prefer Brian Fair the singer as opposed to Brian Fair the growler, because his growls have that real rasp to them, that throaty, angry rasp to them. But when it comes to his singing, it's a lot more powerful. It's a lot more meaningful, and I'm loving the way that the way his singing is. It's really, really good, and it just is so catchy. I'm loving the catchiness of this album. And there is the occasional growl, I want to say almost like a death growl kind of a vocal. You'll hear that all throughout the album. I can't put it on the tip of my tongue which guitarist does that. I think Jonathan does that. But the death growls are a really nice inclusion. They really, really help sit out and pace out this entire album. And really just the ebb and flow of the songwriting just works really, really well. I'm loving the way that it all blends in together. I mean, on tracks like Blind Faith, which is really the longest song on here, just the carefully crafted ideas and melodies going forward. It starts off slow, but then when it starts to build up and get a little faster, I think it works really, really good. I'm absolutely loving that. Not to mention, I think it's a good sounding album too. I know they worked with Adam D from Killswitch Engage, fellow brothers in New England metal, so good they got Adam D for this album, and I think it's a great sounding release. So overall, this is probably one of the strongest Shadows Fall releases to come out in quite some time. Probably one of their best albums yet. I can't say it's their absolute best, but it's right up there. It's right up there with some of their best works, and really, it could strike a chord with some of the older fans of stuff like Of One Blood or The War Within. Good, solid albums like that. But if you're into metalcore, if you're into Shadows Fall, definitely give this band a shot. Give this new album a try. It'll definitely be worth your while, and really is one of the most entertaining releases 2012 has come out with so far. So, some of my favorite tracks include the opening track, The Unknown, Divide and Conquer, Weight of the World, the title track, and of course Blind Faith. Great, great songs. So, again, the album is Fire from the Sky from Shadows Fall. This is released on Resurgent Records. Go check it out. And this gets a very strong 8 out of 10. Very, very awesome album. Definitely support this band. And if you're into this kind of thing, go for it. Support Shadows Fall. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Army Ho out.